Hello there, welcome to your weather forecast. This is Elite Weather. I'm your meteorologist, Mr. G, here with you once again. Happy Sunday, everybody. How's it going? All right, so let's talk about that weather forecast. And we got a few things that's going on out there this weekend that's going to be taking us into the upcoming work week and school week, folks. And we got a nor'easter that we could be seeing in the northeast. The atmospheric river will continue on the west coast, and we have a storm in the middle of it all that's bringing snow across the upper north and severe weather and heavy rain down across the southern plains and portions of the south over into the southeast. So let's take a look at it all right now and take a look at our first map here. And we're going to be looking at the eastern half of the United States, where we have this area of low pressure across the Midwest that is going to be making its way over toward the northeast and eventually off the northeastern seaboard. And we're going to be seeing portions of the upper Midwest and the northern plains here, where we're seeing some light snow over across Minnesota this afternoon into portions of Wisconsin and western Michigan. And this is going to be moving east as we move into the evening hours and into your Sunday morning. So we're going to be looking at that snow across the north. But down to the south here in the southeast, we got quite a bit of rainfall that's taking place, and we're going to be seeing a few inches of rain that could lead to some flooding concerns, flash flooding as well. We could see some thunderstorms that could produce some severe weather, some hail, gusty winds, and damaging winds could be possible. An isolated tornado or two, although overall I don't expect a really big tornado threat with this activity, but we will see that potential there for that very heavy rainfall as we move into the evening hours. We do have a little bit of snow coming from the west across portions of the Rockies in the central Rockies there near Colorado. Maybe Denver might be seeing some snowflakes this afternoon as we have an area of low pressure moving out of the mountains that's going to affect the central plains as we go into the upcoming work week. So let's jump into our next map, and we're going to be talking about snow that's taking place over portions of the northeast. Not a whole lot to see out there across the northeast this afternoon, as most of that snow that we saw earlier in the day has dissipated and moved offshore. But we do still have a few stubborn areas of light snow across portions of northern New Jersey and New York here that we're going to be seeing some light snow. I don't think that's going to affect New York City or Long Island in any shape of the way. It's still a little bit too warm out here, so I think that snow that's trying to threaten that area might melt and become rainfall, so we might start to see a little bit of rain along the I-95 area, maybe a flake or two mixed in, but for the most part, improving conditions across the east for the remainder of this afternoon before we get ready for our potential nor'easter that we're going to jump all over in just a moment here. Now let's take a look at our winter weather alerts. We do have a winter weather advisory across portions of Pennsylvania, upstate New York as well. Western Connecticut, we see our winter weather advisory in place, but as we saw on the radar, there's nothing in the immediate area, but snow coming from the west will spread over this area later tonight and into your day tomorrow, so we could start to see some light snow overtake this area. Maybe we can pick up an inch or two of snow tomorrow, hence the reason for our winter weather advisories, okay? All right, so now let's talk about what we're going to be seeing for your Saturday this afternoon here. Again, like I said, that snow that's over this region is going to warm here with those temperatures down at the surface. So we're going to be seeing some rain here off of Nantucket and off the... Excuse me. I call for every YouTube video. Good grief. Because they get kind of long here. My throat gives up on me. All right, so here off Cape Cod here, Nantucket. If you remember the movie Jaws in 1975, Amity Island was supposed to be somewhere off of Cape Cod. All right, just a little movie trivia for you right there, or whatever. Anyways, I'm just a nerd with that kind of stuff. So anyways, so here we are. We got that rainfall off the East Coast. That's going to gradually dissipate as we move through the rest of the afternoon. Dry weather out toward the west today, but we do have that snow that's moving in from the north, from the Midwest. So keep an eye out for that, okay, guys? All right, so we are tracking a northeaster that's going to affect the Northeast Monday and into Tuesday. We have an area of low pressure that's going to be coming up from the southwest down here, and it's going to ride along the northeastern seaboard. And by the time we get to midday on Tuesday, that area of low pressure is going to set up just off the coast of Massachusetts there, south of Boston. And with that location where that low is going to be sitting up, we're going to be seeing those northeast winds blowing in over this region here. So we're going to be seeing heavy northeast winds, snow across the interior of New England because this area is going to be too warm for snow. So again, no snow for most of the I-95 corridor, but if you're over maybe I-81, I-76 across the interior, Adirondacks, upstate New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, the interior higher elevations will pick up quite a bit of snow, as we're going to see just ahead here. And over in western Pennsylvania, we're going to be seeing your potential for high snow amounts with this nor'easter that's going to be bringing those strong northeasterly winds near the northwest side of this area of low pressure. We have high pressure over Canada and a low to the west across the Midwest, and that combination is going to really bring those winds from the north and the northeast. So we're going to be seeing that heavy snow across the higher elevations of the New England area. So here we are as we take a look at what we're going to see as far as that snow forecast through Wednesday, when we're going to be dealing with that nor'easter. And we see a few areas that's going to be picking up 18 to 24 inches at least here through portions of upstate New York here, and as well as into western Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. Few folks can pick up some heavy snowfall amount. Mount Washington there in New Hampshire can pick up some heavy snow. So we will see a few folks pick up snowfall at least 2 feet range here across portions of upstate New York, near Albany, Binghamton. So we're going to be seeing a lot of heavy snow. With this situation, we won't see an excessive amount of snow near the Buffalo area because this will not have a lake effect enhancement, as a lot of this energy is coming from the north and the northeast. So we won't see as much snow across that region, and we will see lower snowfall totals down across Pennsylvania and over here into Ohio, and we will see some snow over there into portions of eastern Michigan, but you will be seeing much lower totals there, 1 to 3 inches for most of you folks across western and southwestern Pennsylvania, but higher totals over northern and northeastern Pennsylvania, where you can pick up 3 to 5 inches, 5 to 8 inches for the most part across upstate New York, except we have our isolated areas that's going to be picking up 12 to 18, and a few more areas picking up at least 18 to 24. So I think that's where we're going to max out with that snowfall potential with this nor'easter across the northeast and into New England. Little to no snow along I-95, Boston, Hartford, Providence, New York City, Philadelphia, and even down to DC and Maryland. We're going to see even less snow to no snow. So again, that potential there for snow is going to be low. Boston might pick up a few flakes. I think that's going to be the area that I might give a few inches of snow to, is the Boston area. Maybe downtown might pick up an inch or two, even across Providence as well. Might see an inch or so of snow, as it's going to be quite warm along the coastal sections here, and we're going to see mostly rainfall. There will be a period of time where there will be a mix of rain and snow, and maybe even a round of freezing rain possible. So slippery road conditions are certainly going to be an issue across the I-95 areas in the big cities in the Northeast. So please be careful with your morning commute. And if you're going to school buses are going to have to be more cautious out there on some of the back roads and everything. So that is a look at some of this activity that we are expecting with tomorrow's or Monday's nor'easter situation. So again, just to reiterate and reinforce our nor'easter as we go into next week, we are going to be seeing an area of low pressure that will develop off the East Coast early next week, Monday and into Tuesday, and we're going to be seeing widespread heavy rain, snow, and gusty winds are likely Monday and Tuesday. And again, we're going to be talking about travel impacts. So we're talking delays at the airport, even delays on the Amtrak train. So Amtrak, Greyhound, any of the buses that you're going to be riding. We're talking about public transit, New York Transit, or the Metro Transit. I guess they call it down there, Metro Transit. Is it Metro Transit in New York City? I know Boston is MBTA. And I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if New York is Metro Transit. It's Metro Transit here in the Twin Cities. LA is LAMTA. No, New York is MTA. Sorry, New York NYMTA. So we expect Metro New York buses to have some travel impacts as well. So please check the local bus times and see if your bus is arriving or leaving on time at your scheduled stop that you might want to catch or get dropped off at. All right, folks? Okay, so a little bit to deal with. So we also have another impact to these storms that we're seeing out there, and that is going to be down across portions of Arkansas, especially in eastern Oklahoma this afternoon, where we have that potential for some severe thunderstorms. And we're going to be seeing that moisture coming up off the Gulf of Mexico. So we have a weak area of low pressure in the area. We have a troughing as well. So this region right in here, we have a trough that's going to be draped over this area. So it's going to lead to some thunderstorms, potential for flash flooding, but tornadoes are possible. So a few tornadoes is possible. Damaging winds, we can see those winds hit about 70 miles per hour. So some of those severe storms could see 70-mile-an-hour winds and some large hail to about 1 inch in diameter. So that potential for that severe weather is certainly going to be there this afternoon. And then tomorrow, we're going to see that severe weather threat really expand across the southeastern U.S. and the Gulf Coast. So if you're down there, say Louisiana, even over into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia as well, North Florida, the Florida Panhandle, we're going to be seeing those severe thunderstorms. Definitely going to be seeing some tornadoes out there tomorrow, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour, and we have that potential there for flash flooding. And so, and some large hail also is going to be possible down there. And let us not forget that right here, right along the Gulf Coast, especially right in this region, water spouts is going to be a possibility as well. In fact, likelihood, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see any water spouts, especially here from just to the east of New Orleans and over into this region here of Florida. So right in this area down here near what is this over here in Florida? Right here, Pensacola. We could see that potential. Pensacola and Apalachicola, we have that potential for water spouts, and those are pretty exciting to see. They're usually fairly weak, and we will see sometimes they come on shore and become land spouts. So definitely they can be dangerous as well. So you treat them like you would any other tornado, because they can reach at least F1 status, EF1, so they can cause some substantial, a significant amount of damage as well. And let's take a look at what we're going to be seeing as far as our future track is concerned. Sunday, as we look at the morning hours, we already saw these, we're going to be seeing this possible out scenario tomorrow. This is what the forecast models are depicting for your Sunday at AM, and this is across the central time zone. And we're going to be seeing a line of thunderstorms over here across Montgomery, Alabama, and in through Birmingham and just over near Huntsville. So this region here could be seeing a line of severe thunderstorms, and we can see another cluster of severe thunderstorms over here near Atlanta, as well as into northern South Carolina. We're going to be seeing several clusters of thunderstorms tomorrow morning, and some isolated thunderstorms back here across portions of Louisiana and Mississippi. So we're going to be looking for those severe thunderstorms tomorrow morning, and that could be our potential there for those damaging winds and large hail as well. Now in the afternoon, we're going to be seeing more of a situation where we're going to be seeing clusters of thunderstorms. So we're going to be seeing those thunderstorms over here, central Mississippi and central to southern Alabama. So we're going to be seeing those thunderstorms clusters, and this is where I think we'll have our greater risk for seeing any tornadic activity or any spinning in the atmosphere, because we have a lot of outflow boundaries taking place here. So those outflow is going to create wind shear. So we're going to be seeing outflow this way, outflow from different directions, and those outflow boundaries are going to cross each other. So that could create little eddies in the atmosphere that could lead to tornado formation. And those might be a little bit weaker tornadoes, EF1 to maybe a few being EF2 possible. So we're definitely going to have to keep a look out for this possible, this grouping of thunderstorms here. So this could be a kind of a dangerous situation. I don't like that scenario. You usually look for a line of thunderstorms, because that usually means a lower risk for tornadoes, but a higher risk of a damaging wind event, because you have those outflow boundaries, so you tend to see bow echoes. But this, I look for individualized supercell thunderstorms with this situation here. Now, another thing about thunderstorms that develop across this area of the country, they're usually low-level storms. So low-base thunderstorms tend to see rain-wrapped tornadoes. They're kind of hard to get eyeballs on because there's usually engulfed in heavy rain. So these are usually generally pretty wet thunderstorms. They're not like some of the storms you'll see along the high plains up near, North and South Dakota, or through Montana or Vermont, not Vermont, but I want to say Nebraska, Kansas. You usually see those high thunderstorms and the tornadoes you can see for miles away because those storms are elevated. Not these guys. They will be low slung into the ground, close to the ground, so they will be hard to spot, some of those tornadoes. But we will have Reed Timmer and some of those other guys definitely out there chasing those storms for you to get eyeballs on them, and they're going to be the people who can best accomplish that. And then we're going to see another area of thunderstorms through South Carolina tomorrow around the noon hour as well. Eastern Georgia, we're going to be seeing some isolated thunderstorms here across North Florida and the Panhandle. So we're isolated activity across this region. A little bit more concentrated across South Carolina, just to the west of Myrtle Beach and Columbia. We're going to be dealing with those potential for thunderstorms across that region, and thunderstorms across North Carolina as well, near the Charlotte area. We're going to be watching. I don't expect tornadoes over that region, but some damaging wind and large hail is certainly possible with some of those thunderstorms, and they could be efficient rainmakers as well. And now, as we move into what we're going to be seeing as far as that flash flood threat for your Saturday and Sunday, not much in the way, but it is going to be possible. A lot of these storms, if this area is pretty well soaked and the water is soaking into the ground, we're only looking at mostly 1 to 2 inch rainfall totals, but some areas can see as much as 3 inches, but it's soaking into the ground pretty well right now, and it's not coming too fast. A little bit more spread out that these rainfall totals are going to be. So our flash flood threat is only going to be possible. I don't expect the likelihood of flash flooding through Sunday morning. All right. But here we are as we take a look at our rainfall forecast through Sunday afternoon, and this yellow here is where we can see about 2 to 3 inches of rain here through portions of northeastern Alabama, North Georgia, south central into southeastern Tennessee, portions of southwestern North Carolina. This is where we can see our heaviest concentration of rainfall and thunderstorms, and then a line of thunderstorms can cause 2 to 3 inch rainfall totals down here near Montgomery, Alabama as well. So south central Alabama, we could see a swath there with some heavier rainfall totals. But in general, we're going to be looking at about 1 to 2 inch rainfall totals, or half-inch to 1 inch rainfall totals. If you go further north, northwestern Arkansas, Missouri, portions of the southern end of the Midwest, we're talking Illinois, Indiana, and into Ohio, we could be seeing about half-inch to 1 inch of rainfall. Thunderstorms could be possible in those areas as well. And if you pick up a severe storm, you can see an isolated higher rainfall total. So, and now let's move on to the West Coast. And we're going to be talking about our atmospheric river in California, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're still with me. Again, if you're enjoying this video, likes, comments are always welcome. Feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And that atmospheric river is going to be bringing that heavy rain, that flash flood threat will decrease this afternoon, especially through portions of the western edge of the Sierra Nevada and the eastern side of the Central Valley. So San Joaquin, Central Valley, Sacramento south to Bakersfield, we're going to be seeing snowmelt contribute the most to that potential for flash flooding or flooding across the west. Snowmelt and additional rainfall because our current storm is warmer than some of the previous storms. So that means that the snow level is higher up the mountain range. So we're going to be seeing rainfall over a portion of the mountains that has been covered in snow from previous storms. But that new rainfall is going to really accelerate the snow melt and warm things up a bit to accelerate the snow melt and cause an increase in water drainage and water running down the mountainside. So we're going to be seeing a higher risk for flooding this afternoon, but we're going to be seeing things decrease as we're going to be kind of in between storms this afternoon. That storm threat is going to decrease a little bit, but it's going to pick up again as we have another storm that's going to be heading toward the coast tomorrow. So that flash flood threat or flood threat shifts further to the northwestern California. We're talking about near Eureka, down to the Bay Area, and again across the Sierra Nevada, where we're going to be seeing a warmer storm as we get later or closer to spring. Those storms will get warmer, less snow. We're still going to be seeing 3 to 4 feet of snow in the higher elevations, but we will see less this go around. But again, on Monday, flood threat increases and spread as that next storms move further closer to the coast, and we're going to be seeing that likelihood, very likelihood of flooding across northern and central California and into portions of the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada as that heavy rain, where we could be picking up 4 to 6 inches of rain across portions of northwestern California and another 6 to 8 feet of snow across the higher terrain of the mountains. I'm talking about 8,000 feet. So again, another beneficial but devastating round of rain and snow across northern California. And here's a look at our future track. Sunday morning, this is what we're going to be seeing. That heavy snow across the Sierra Nevada. Once again, you see the spine of the mountain range here, that heavy snow, but we're going to be seeing rain showers along the coastal sections from central California, St. Louis Obispo, northward into the Bay Area, San Jose, Eureka. So we're going to be seeing that heavy rain continue along the coast tomorrow morning. And then as we move into your afternoon tomorrow, that rainfall will increase across northwestern California. It will continue across the Bay Area down to the central California, Santa Rosa, Santa Maria, San Luis Obispo, just north of Santa Barbara. Once again, we're going to be seeing that heavy rain. Los Angeles will be spared from this round of rain, at least at this point, but we will continue to see the heavy snow across the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada. And then as we move further into the forecast here, and get into Monday morning. A little bit lighter rainfall on your Monday. That range axis shifts a little bit further to the north and then shunts it into Oregon. So we're going to be seeing heavier rain there for Portland and Eugene, Oregon. So you guys are going to get ready for a little bit heavier rain on Monday. It's going to continue to rain across northwestern California down to the Bay Area and through central California near the coastal ranges. Snow will continue across the Sierra Nevada as well on your Monday morning, and then in the afternoon on Tuesday morning, boy, look how things explode with the next storm. We get heavier rain, northern California, that goes all the way down to Santa Barbara, begins to spread into the Los Angeles and Orange County area. Heavy snow across the Sierra Nevada. This storm will be warmer as well. You can see that that area of snow, that stripe of snow, is a bit thinner. That's because we have warmer air associated with this storm, so it's going to produce a lot more rainfall. And let's look at how much more rainfall we're going to continue to see as we head through the afternoon on Tuesday. That rain now makes it down to Los Angeles and Orange County down here, and we're going to see that heavier rain through central California and that snow across the Sierra Nevada, and more wet snow across the southern Sierra near Mammoth Lakes, California, and to the east of the valley here, the Central Valley. Excellent farmland, by the way, across that region. If you want to know where all your vegetables come from and your fruits and stuff, you're looking at it right there. And they're receiving that beneficial rainfall. We just don't want it to come too fast that we can't absorb it into the ground and we can't get it to our reservoir. So we need that water as we head into our next summer when we're going to have that good waterfall. And this is really good news for the drought situation. Some areas have been removed from the drought, and we have a sufficient waterfall in the water table right now. So that's excellent news as we continue to see that heavy rain extend all the way into Northern California. And look at the snow we're going to be seeing across Oregon and into Washington and the Northern Rockies. Heavy snow across the Cascades and across the high plains of of Oregon here. So Bend, Oregon, and over here where the University of Oregon is, you're going to be seeing a lot of snow across that region. I know there are some folks who want to know when Portland's going to see any snow. Unfortunately, I don't think Portland's going to see any snow from this storm, but you will see some heavy rainfall occur from that snow. You might see a few snowflakes mixed in across the hills area, the hill to the east of Portland, but that's the most that I can promise you right now. All right, so as we move through the Wednesday morning, now we're going to start to see some of that wet weather decrease along the coastal sections. Still some snow across the Sierra Nevada. Still some rain lingering down in Southern California near the deserts out there. This is San Diego County, Imperial County, parts of Riverside County, and we start to see that rain and snow move over into Arizona. We got Flagstaff here, Phoenix, Arizona, Yuma as well. We're going to be seeing some rain across that region. This warmer storm, so we're not going to see snow along the I-40 area this time, and we're going to be seeing rainfall, but we will see rainfall down along I-15 down here through southern Utah. So St. George, Utah, Provo, up to Salt Lake City, Sandy, Ogden, Clearfield. I know my areas. I used to briefly live in Utah at one point, so I know Utah. So we will see that snow along the I-15 corridor up towards portions of into Wyoming here. Here is Colorado. We're going to be seeing snow extend out that way as well. So this is the Rocky Mountains here, Glenwood Springs. We got Vail, Aspen, Colorado Springs, Boulder. We're going to be seeing that snow down here near Pueblo and Durango. Maybe a few snowflakes along far northern New Mexico. A few places might pick up a few snow. And we're going to have snow continue continue along the Cascade Mountain Range, all right? Snow in the Cascades, and we're going to see snow across the northern Rockies, Montana, and Idaho as well. So Yellowstone, we're going to see some more snow, and over across Glacier National Park, more snow. So a lot of snow to be had across the Rockies, and we're also watching out for those avalanche dangers as well. We had a few folks killed by an avalanche in portions of Utah the other day, so that our prayers go out to their families and to those folks who lost their lives to that avalanche out there. So, all right, so let's keep on trucking with this wet weather forecast across the western United States. Here's a look at that rainfall that we're going to expect to see through Wednesday and across the Central Valley here. This is north of Los Angeles, I-5, Tehachapi. We're looking at Castaic Lake here, and we also have Gilroy. We're looking at the Valley, Bakersfield, Fresno, Delano, Stockton, Merced, Modesto, Sacramento. We're looking at least 1 to 2 inches of rain through Wednesday. But if you take a look at the coastal sections, the coastal ranges, because we have low mountains there, and there's elevation, so we're going to be seeing an enhancement of that rainfall. Santa Barbara, Ventura, San Luis Obispo, up the coastline, Monterey, San Jose, San Francisco. We're going to be looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain across those regions. Down here in Southern California, south of Santa Barbara, toward downtown Los Angeles, Pacific Palisades, Malibu. We're looking at Beverly Hills here. We can see the potential for 3 to 5 inches of rain. So heavy rain is going to continue down here across Southern California. Now here, where we have the span of the Cascade Mountain Range, there are some areas that can pick up 8 to 12 inches of rain, and a few spots 12 to 18 inches of rain before it changes over to snow. Remember, these are warmer storms, so the snow level is about 8,000 feet. So we won't see any snow until you get above 8,000 feet. So everything south of that elevation is going to be rainfall, and some of those elevations are still quite high. So we're going to be seeing that enhancement of that rainfall because of what is called orographic lifting, and that's air being shoved up the side of the mountain. And you're going to be seeing that on the western slope of the mountain because that's where all of our moisture is coming from our atmospheric river. We have this stream of tropical moisture coming all the way from Hawaii, and as it hits against the west coast, it's being pushed up the mountainside by that cold front in the area of low pressure that's coming down and sweeping through, and it's helping to shove that moist laden air up the side of the mountain. And since it can't push the weight of all of that water, it comes down in the form of heavy rain, and that heavy rain is really going to make some extreme rainfall totals along the front edges of the front ranges of the Sierra Nevada as well as the foothill. So please be careful. We had a lot of folks get stranded across Yosemite. Yosemite has been closed. I don't know if it's open yet, but it's been closed for some time now, for a few weeks, because of the excessive amount of snow. But I don't know. I thought it was to open about the 12th. I think I heard that it will open back up Yosemite on the 12th of March. Hopefully that can happen and folks can visit the park safely once again. So that is a look at the western storm as far as the heavier rainfall. Now let's talk about that flash flood threat. And we've been looking at that. So I've been dealing with that. And I got 3 specific things that we want to, well, 4 things. We have this area right here, Fresno, Visalia, Delano, where we can be seeing that heavy risk for that likelihood. We have an extreme likelihood flash flooding because of the melting snow and additional heavy rain along the Sierra Nevada mountain range, and that water is coming down this way into the valley below. So we're seeing that flash flood threat all too much of a likelihood and will continue. We've already seen a lot of bridges get washed out, buildings damaged, homes washed off the cliffs. We've seen a lot of damage already because of the flooding. Now over here, we have an extreme risk for flooding because of heavy rain along the coast. So we're going to continue to see mudslides and flash flooding over this region because of the heavy rainfall, where we've seen at least 10 inches of rain with the last rounds of storms. And in these yellow areas, this is very likely. Again, it's just an add-on to the flooding that we've already seen, because this is a little bit further away from where our extreme situation is, but we're still going to be seeing that very likely danger of flash flooding across those regions. And that can extend as far south of areas just to the north of Los Angeles. I mean, Castaic, the Grapevine, the Santa Monica Mountains, the San Gabriel Mountains, Tehachapi Mountains, just to the north of Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, the Simi Valley. Those regions that have seen a lot of rainfall can be dealing with a lot of runoff coming down from the mountains. You don't have to have rain over your area to experience a flash flood. It could rain in the mountains and the water just run down, and you can get caught in a flash flood, and it's not raining overhead. So that's a lot to deal with. And here's our flood alerts. We are looking at our flash flood watch over most of Northern California, north of the county of Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, north of Santa Barbara, all the way up to Redding and Lassen Volcanic, Mount Shasta, just to the south of the Oregon line there, the Sierra Nevadas, the entire Central Valley, the Coast Ranges, the Bay Area. We're going to be seeing that flash flood watch in place through Sunday morning, and I'm pretty sure, I can guarantee you, that will be extended, and we might even see a flash flood warning issued as well. So again, a lot to deal with on the West Coast with a lot of that heavy rainfall. And here is snow that we are still going to be dealing with through Monday. This is the Sierra Nevadas. Here's Mammoth Lakes. We're looking at 395 right there. This is Porterville down across this area, and we got Truckee up here, Donner Pass right there. So we are still looking at, look at this, 4 to 6 feet of snow across the higher elevations of the Sierra Nevada through Monday. 4 to 6 feet of additional snow on top of the 600 inches of snow that we've seen over many areas across the Sierra Nevada. This is how impressive this season has been as far as snow and rain in California has been. I mean, one of the largest ever on record. This was a record snowfall for the Sierra Nevada. All right, wind. It's also going to be a problem with some of these storms. Now, wind we're going to be seeing mostly through valleys, canyons, and passes. We're going to be seeing a wind advisory. That is winds between 30 and 50 miles per hour. We're going to be seeing that across the high desert here, near Barstow, Victorville, Las Vegas, Blythe. There's our wind advisory. Some of our mountainous areas, like here, San Luis Obispo, south of Monterey, the I-5 corridor 101, we're going to be seeing our winter high wind watch. All right, so that is going to be our winds 40 to 60 miles an hour. And we have our high wind warnings as well through portions of, we got Colorado. This is, oh God, I-80, good Lord, I-80, Wyoming, really guys, come on. If you are a semi driver, you know exactly what the heck I'm talking about. If you own a motorhome and you've driven through this area, through I-80, Cheyenne, Casper, over toward portions of Utah and into Nevada. If you're headed towards San Francisco or I-80, you know what I'm talking about. 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. Yeah, very dangerous situation there across portions of the Wyoming into Montana, over towards Idaho, northern Utah. the northern areas of Nevada, Great Basin. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of high winds and issues with that. A lot of semis get turned over in these situations out there. So please be careful and monitor the weather and be safe out there if you're driving a semi across I-80 through portions of Wyoming and through Colorado. If you're on I-70, those winds could be pretty brisk down there through Glenwood Springs. And as you come out of the mountains and head into Utah, southern Utah, St. George, please be careful down there. It can be quite hairy for some of these folks. So again, here's our precipitation outlook. We're almost done, guys. This was a kind of an extended forecast. A lot going on here, so please bear with me. A lot going on, a lot to deal with in this weather forecast here. So very wet conditions that we expect through the middle of the month. So through the 18th, we're looking at very wet, much above normal rainfall expected to continue across California, portions of Nevada, western Arizona, and it's also going to be wet across most of the west. We're going to see things near normal here across the southern plains. But look at this, likely weather across the northern plains in the upper Midwest. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. We're going to be seeing it wet across that region. Now, we're going to be seeing snow. But here's the thing. As we get later through March into April, we're going to start to see less snow, more rain. So we're going to see that snow change over to being mostly rain. So, because it also means it's going to be warmer. So we're going to be seeing things warm significantly through the Midwest and the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, because we're getting some of those western storms headed toward the east, and these storms have been warmer lately. So the last couple of storms are going to definitely lead to a pretty nice warm up across the east and the Midwest as we head in through the upcoming weeks here. So we're going to be seeing that increase in severe weather across the deep south, the Great Plains, the Southern Plains, and even see some thunderstorms start to invade the Midwest and the upper Midwest. So be ready for all that, folks. This could be some serious business this spring and summer. All right. Well, thanks for rocking with me on this forecast. My name is Mr. G. That was your weather forecast, and keeping you updated on everything that's going on out there through the rest of the weekend and into the beginning of this upcoming work week. Have a great day. See you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye.